Hello again, everyone. We've got an amphibian this time. Amphibians are animals like frogs, toads, newts, and salamanders. Those are the four most common ones. And here in the Lower Mainland, we actually have all four that live here. Being winter now, or I'm going to call this winter, they are probably hibernating or getting really trying to find a spot to hibernate, because it's going to be too cold for their bodies to work properly and for them to find the foods that they need. So an amphibian to me means double life, land and water. Typically, they start life in the water. Typically, they go back to the water to have their babies. There is always an exception to the rule in the animal world, though. And there are exceptions in the amphibian world. But I'm going to be showing you guys this animal. It's called a chocolate PAC Man Frog that I also got over the summer from Great Little Group, mostly just geckos. This is a baby. He's several months old, and he's going to get fairly large if I can get him up to adult size. But the word amphibian, I said double life, land and water, but they are also all poisonous. If they're not able to camouflage or escape their predators, they make poison come out of their skin, so they taste bad. The worse they taste, the less other animals want to eat them. Hope that makes sense. And I don't let people touch or hold the amphibians for the amphibian safety. If you touch your fingers, usually our fingers are dry and oily, and if we pet them, we would definitely hurt their bodies. And this is a young little guy. I don't know if it's a girl or a boy, but I'm probably going to end up just calling him a boy. He is going to get fairly large. He will almost get to the size of this container, baseball size. And they're not built to hop around and chase their food. They are an ambush predator, which means they're going to sit in one spot, wait for their food to come to them, then lunge out, grab it, and swallow it. Being this size, I feed mine, and I have 3 different types of these. I feed them crickets and bugs and worms. The bigger they get, the bigger foods that they're able to swallow. When it's full grown, in the wild, it would eat other frogs, toads. It might eat small lizards or snakes if they were in the grass where they live. And it would eat mice. Odds are, well, I know it won't be ever feeding it frogs, probably never mice, but it's going to eat a lot of bugs when they grow up. So it is a carnivore. And this species lives in the pampas grasslands in South America, places like Argentina. They are able to eat those big animals when they're adults, frogs and mice, because they have like a tooth. I call it a puncturing tooth. So when they grab something, that tooth punctures the body, and usually it's going to be puncturing their lungs. Means all the air in the lungs can get out. Means the animal will be a little bit smaller, so it's easier to swallow. And I said I hope it's a boy. And the only reason I said that, I don't have anything against girl frogs, but boys make sounds. Boys croak or ribbit. Girls can make sounds too, but if you ever hear a frog or a toad making the sounds, it's typically a mating call. The male is sounding off to attract a girlfriend. If he sounds good, the girls will like him. If he doesn't sound good, the girls won't want anything to do with him. And in the wild, though, more boys get eaten than girls. And that's because as they're advertising themselves to find a girlfriend, other animals are hearing them. So it's easy to track them down by sounds. I've tracked and fit frogs and toads down by their sounds in BC, Costa Rica, a couple other places around the world. So you'll enjoy meeting this little guy. And the horned frogs are also actually called PAC Man frogs. They probably are the most commonly kept pet frog in the world because they're an ambush predator. They don't need a big space, and they're fairly easy to feed because They'll really eat almost anything. Thanks again, and we're going to do one more critter for you today.